Alright, we have returned. So, after your encounter with explosions and a dam kind of thing, you will continue and a nice evening overnight and a dead like allosaur. You're going to continue on. The journey will continue for maybe another part of the day. It'll be getting towards noon, getting kind of hot and muggy out. Buggy, as it's always been, which, you know, Vercel just kind of stands there and nothing seems to bother Vercel because reptilian, but, you know. Everybody else is just like, you know, being eaten alive. It does seem as though, like, the gnomes are quite fine, but they have these small, like, cans of something that they kind of spray on themselves occasionally. The troll seems fine, too, and nothing bothers the troll. Your dwarf just, you know, seems to also kind of grit and bear with it. The actual area will emerge into what looks to be a flooded region. It's a kind of lake that you're going to move out into, where you can see there's all kinds of, like, dead trees sticking out of it. That looks to be an area that was flooded at one point in time. That is flooded now. Your boat will slow even more to try to, like, avoid the trees. Havarg is kind of gonna, like, go up towards the top and be like, "This is fine. This has been around here for a while. It flooded back in the day, when the stream changed course. We're going to be trying to head to the other side of it, where the stream will continue. The basin here has been flooded for some time."
That's good, I guess.
You'll kind of, like, maneuver through the trees for a while. Everything here, like, you can see that there's kind of, like that kind of floating plants that seem to have, like, kind of cropped up all around the trees. So you're kind of, like, parting through those, and you can't really see the water much anymore. So think about, like, those, like almost like lake marshy areas in the Amazon, where you kind of get that, like, kind of plants over top of stuff, except these are using these trees as an anchor point rather than having more ground underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you're getting towards the opposite side, though, Scrog will kind of come down and, like, "Hey, you seem to have a problem." As you're about halfway across. "Something we did not notice with the explosions."
What happened?
"One of the shards, it damaged the ship a little bit. It managed to pierce our... he's going to kind of lead you over to the side, where there's this nice little hole. It pierced in there. It hit one of our gas tanks. We've been leaking. We have enough to get to where we are needing to go, but maybe not to get back, I think."
Let's see.
Is there any way to repair this?
"You are going to Tetzatel, yes?"
Yes.
"They might have some you could barter for, but it is a long shot. Otherwise, we could hope to see another ship, maybe. Keep an eye out." Havarg will kind of put up a finger now. "There may be something nearby. An old friend of mine said he lost his boat in this area. He hit into a number of trees, got caught up, damaged it beyond repair. It did not sink, though, so it might still be salvageable, and there might be some gas there. This was some years ago. It's a long shot, but we will merely have to head deeper into it over that way.
Might be our best bet.
Let's see.
As much as anything in this area is safe. There are plenty of things that stalk the waters that are dangerous around here, and we should be careful about getting our own ship caught up. But if we did, we might be able to find some gas.
Well, you don't necessarily have to get all that close, as long as someone can go in and grab it.
I will go over there if there's at least 1 or 2 volunteers that will come with me. I will come. I could carry one of the barrels.
I will as well. My capabilities with swimming probably exceed most people's here.
There's still snakes in the water.
Oh yes. This place is filled with snakes, crocodiles, lizards, swords.
I think yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not very
I think it
strong
might be safe
anyway.
if we stay here.
I'll, watch from here and make sure nothing sneaks up on anyone.
Will do.
Alright. So the ship will detour, heading... You're not exactly sure what direction, but, like, further into the lake area. Kind of, instead of going straight across it, which you were before, you're gonna kind of detour into this, farther area. It would have been kind of a pretty straight shot across, but the zone kind of extends out. Pretty decent area. You're thinking this might be, like, even more like a square mile, like a large area of place that was flooded. You will see in amongst, like, what remains of, kind of to the one side of it, though, eventually, kind of on the far side, kind of in amongst, like, bushes and stuff that have been growing out, and some material, kind of hidden amongst it, you will see the wreckage of a ship. It seems kind of tilted, half sunk, but stuck in the water. It seems as though, like, it's tilted in such a way that just barely the back end of the ship is not quite in the water. You can see how, like, it's just at an odd angle, and part of the front of the ship is almost sticking out of the water, as if it kind of grounded itself on a number of trees and wreckage. You can see that also, like, in one of the sides there's a big hole in it, as if something had hit that, maybe. But anything otherwise is quiet. You can see that you have to actually be a pretty decent distance away, a couple 100 feet. It gets a lot more tangled in amongst the trees there. You're actually, like, it had to maybe, like, have crashed through the trees in order to get to this point in time. Or someone was just not paying attention and let it go on its own. Either way, stupidity. Scrog's gonna jump into the water. Varg is.
I will jump in after them.
Alright. It is not particularly deep. Like, after you kind of, like, swim for a little bit from the boat, you can get to an area where you begin to actually, like, feel the bottom underneath you. Like, you have to you and Havarg have to swim a little bit, but you can see that Scrog has it, like, up to his chest, and he's doing okay, but, like, actually, like, walking on the bottom. He's keeping his rifle above him out of the water kind of thing right now. Just keeping it dry. When you get to the...
I'm probably, like, kind of swimming, and then I'm, like, probably waiting, and then swimming some more, and then waiting. because I have a swim speed of 30 feet.
When you get to this side, Havarg's gonna kind of climb up. He's gonna point to Scrog and check the barrels. Can you go below and check the engines? Maybe there's something we can siphon out of them. I'll take a look around to see if there's anything else of use that my friend left on board. Maybe something to repair the damage. Also.
What do you want me to do?
Check the engines. He pointed to you. See if there's anything left in them that could be siphoned.
Very well.
You can find that there's like a hole in the there's a hatch in part of the top of the deck that you could lead into the lower area of the ship. Scrog's checking like some barrels that are strapped to the back and some materials that are back there, seeing if there's anything that remains in there.
Yeah. I'm going to use Channel Divinity to have proficiency with... I don't know what this even would be.
You're just like, oh, Lord of Darkness, please let me understand what the hell I'm doing right now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because it's like, choose one skill or tool for 10 minutes. You have proficiency with the chosen skill or tool, so...
You, like, find some tool... Like, you'll go down into the engine room, and you'll find a couple of tools, and you'll kind of, like, gain your proficiency with them, and you get a feeling like, okay... I think I can do
this nozzle goes into here.
Yeah,
you know?
It's more like, like sudden like insights of like, okay, I think I know what I can do to check this out. So you can take some time and take a look. The engines seem intact, relatively speaking. The room down here definitely actually has some flooding. It looks like with the damage to the hull and the other places that are damaged to the hull. It's cramped. It's like probably made for someone to be like more crawling around in here. It's not like a full engine room because it's more of a flat bottom boat. They don't have a very like deep engine room. You kind of can push.
Yeah.
There's like you had to kind of push through like a little storage area to get to it in the first place. There might be another access, but you don't know where that is. So you just took the access panel that you knew. You'll the engine, again, fairly intact, but it looks like it is pretty much empty. There's a little bit of liquid in there, not a lot. Looks like it was probably running low in the first place, or maybe that the engines were left to run once it ran aground, and no one stopped them. You're not sure. Regardless, though, the amount of gas that's left in there is low. It wouldn't give your... Even if you managed to somehow siphon it, it wouldn't give your vessel much.
Very well. I guess I'm going to look around for a potentially a filled empty gas canister then? Or, sorry, a filled gas canister maybe that was extra that could have been left behind?
Yeah. Okay, you can check the supplies that they have down here. They have a number of kind of crates down here. Cracking open one of the crates, it looks like some kind of reptile skin is in the one. Like a large reptile skin.
Check out.
Roll me nature.
Okay.
It will pop up eventually.
Ooh.
As I said, it will pop up eventually on for the rest of us.
I got it. Well, for it popped up for me and it was a 23.
It's just that like
Yeah, I see it.
I don't know why I'm not seeing it then. Let me check in. There it goes. Now it pops up. Sometimes it just is so delayed for me. Okay. Yeah, no.
Let's be real. During this quarantine, everyone's probably playing.
Yeah. You realize this is not any ordinary reptile skin. At first you thought that maybe, like, it was a lizard skin. But you realize this is the skin of some reptilian humanoid. It's not lizard folk.
Okay, I was about to say.
No. Not this one, at least.
I was worried that perhaps Havard and his clan hunt lizard people. It's still possible, but...
It's still possible, but you can kind of go through them and you'll notice that there's more than one type. One of them does look to me maybe like lizard folk. It seems that whoever these people that were on this boat, they probably poached reptilian humanoids for their skin. Oh yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. Granted, this was just a friend of Havard's, so it's hard to say whether he's involved or not, but he hasn't been eyeing you up as of yet.
Well, as I am suspicious, I also know as a lizard folk not to waste, so I will grab them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You get 2 crates of like lizard skin. Or reptilian skin, we'll call it. There you go. But unfortunately, no gas down here.
Very well.
You'll kind of run into Havarg, who's seems to have found some kind of chest that he's bringing with him. Come now. He's gonna like look you over, like looking at the crates. He's gas.
No. Although I am curious as to what your friend was doing with these, I say. Showing him the crate of lizard people.
He's gonna kind of raise an eyebrow for a second, and then he's gonna just jump in the water and start bringing back that box. Like, cause it's like a wooden box, so he's like kind of floating it in the water mostly.
The box that I had?
The box that he has.
Or the box. Okay.
Yeah. And he's gonna kind of be moving back towards the ship.
See.
Come, follow me. Let's bring this stuff back.
I will do so. And yeah, after reload stuff up on the ship, I'm gonna go down to where the hole was, if I'm able to get there, or even just from the outside look at it. Does it look purposefully made?
No. No, it doesn't look purposely made. It could have been purposely made if it was, like, really subtle, but it looks as though, like, something pierced the side. You know, it looks like something that maybe, like, of a decent size pierced the side, and with the side of the boat being, like, of a tough material, maybe a lot of strength would be required.
Yeah.
Or a tool of some kind, so it's not impossible for it to be, like, sabotaged, but...
Basically, is it, like, perfectly circular, or is it, like... Okay. Because that's pretty much the determining factor, as far as my character would probably be able to figure out. Very well. I just... Look, when a group of people have... When someone who's a friend of someone else that I'm currently with has a bunch of skin of people like me, I'm going to start being very suspicious.
Yeah. So, Havarg will settle in, bringing the box on the deck. You'll bring the 2, like, crates that you have. You'll try to check things out. When you're done checking things out, Scrog has not come back.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna look out on the water to see if there's any disturbances, if like someone's struggling underwater.
You don't see anything. You don't have a good view of where Scrog went to work either, because of like all those kind of bushes and like remains of trees and stuff that was in the way, and like as I said, the plants that had been growing on the surface were a little thicker around things. So like around the boat, thicker. You know, around these trees, thicker.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say, Mishka, Therzi, get your weapons ready. I'm gonna check something's not right. And I'm gonna jump back into the water.
I would wait if I were you.
I stop, I guess. Like at the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, I'm afraid there's something quite dangerous here, stalking these waters. And,
That you knew about?
not necessarily. Let us just say, there was more than one on this boat when it went down. And all the words I heard were of madness. And I did not hear from them directly. It was only messages. Messages over a radio. And screams.
Get your weapons ready, and I'm gonna jump in the water.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not letting the, like,
Yep.
second mate get eaten because
He's got the really big gun.
some guy didn't properly inform us of the dangers of what we're doing.
Well, I got my weapons ready.
Okay. Anybody following for Cell?
I don't think there's any reason for anyone else to follow me.
Yeah,
Don't know if we'd be helpful anyway.
I'm actually gonna have the gun out rather than my bow.
Okay. So we've gone out.
And I'm
Um,
going to quickly, as fast as I can, search for...
You see no sign of Scrog. That is until you discover one thing. Kind of lying on the boat, near where the barrels are, is his weapon. As if it was pushed down so that he could check the barrels.
I'm going to pick it up.
It's heavy. You're able to lift it, though. I mean, it is a rifle for a large-sized creature.
Mm-hmm. Scrog? Is there any blood? Any
You see nothing.
signs of a struggle?
It's just quiet.
Well, I'm gonna bring this weapon back. I'm not gonna care if it gets wet or not, though, because
Yeah.
I can't use it and I probably can't lift it.
Not very usefully, no.
And I'm gonna head back to the ship.
Well, any sign of him?
No. Daggers are glared at him.
Oh, he found his gun. You can call that thing a gun anyway.
It was set down gently.
So it wasn't like he flung it somewhere when he was grabbed.
No. There were no signs of a struggle. What was your friend carrying?
It was not what he was carrying. It's something that I think he disturbed. An old curse, if you will. But, different than what you think. He's going to, get out from one of the boxes a large creature skin that seems similar to the ones you saw before. though you'll see that it looks to be one with 6 heads.
That seems not good.
This is what stalks these lands. A
Isn't-
curse.
So, didn't we see something like that in the last temple we were at?
You did.
In like a carving?
Oh god, we
Yeah.
stole his treasure.
Seems as though-
No. That's not what happened. Also, I think I did roll, or someone rolled well enough on religion to know that it was a yuan-ti related,
Yes.
not deity, but like worshipped creature.
It's an anathema.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are huge yuan-tis that are effectively chosen of their deity kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
My friend here fought with one of these. Killed it. Thinking it was the only one in this area. That is the report I got. But I think there is one that is bigger, meaner, more ancient. Has lived. That is why I wanted to go to Hisari, to see signs of where it may have come from. And I did. It is out there now. We have entered into its territory. As much as this is dangerous and seems big, something may be twice the size. Think of that.
You knock that tree down in the main on the main river?
No. It was by chance. I did not think I would have a chance to hunt this beast. But now we are in its territory. And it will be hunting us.
And that those symbols on the dam, I'm guessing they were a ward against this creature, to some degree, perhaps?
Stay out of its territory? I suspected it might have been. It is a beast that controls serpents.
See.
Feel like you may have needed to explain that once we got to the dam of fucking snakes.
You might have
I'm gonna-
decided it was more reasonable to take the long way, slowly and slowly reversing the ship, heading back the other way, clearing the trees, taking maybe a week to do all that. And it would have been safer.
Probably still should have warned us, though. Now we got the snake.
I'm gonna go to the
And I have my
captain.
hunch. You can't tell if this thing is visually upset or not. You know, it's a jewel. The
Well, I
captain's-
know. I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna look to him. I'm gonna more say something.
Mhm.
Do we have enough fuel to go back the way we came?
No. It runs the vessel with about as much gas to reverse it, but it is much slower. This vessel was not meant to go in reverse. The engines would roll at the same rate, and it would take us much longer. From here, we might be able to reverse, to turn around. From this
Stain-
lake, we might be able to turn around, but I do not know for sure. It's been hard enough navigating in here the way that he's been taking us. Through the trees. If we rely on him to continue to direct us, he may take us where he wants us to go, and not where we want to go.
I realize that. Oh, you.
This flooded maze is quite dangerous, as you can see. As he kind of, like, you'll see his head will glance over towards where the ship is. I am quite upset. I liked
Yes.
Rob. He was a good first mate and friend.
Hi. I'm going to go. I'm going to go inform the Naga that about the change of not change of plans, but the situation, and let it know we may need its help.
Oh, we could feed the dwarf
Probably
to
do
it.
that.
Pisses us off again.
Like, if this thing could smile, it probably would, and truly, a way I can get revenge now. A child of Marshak in front of me. I can tear its heads from its body.
Well, I guess this
This is
the
a good day.
To the village.
What was that?
I'll be honest, this actually may be a blessing in disguise. We may not have to worry about the Naga after
Yeah.
we let it do this.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Does that mean we don't have to go to the village?
Yeah.
I mean, this
Well,
is like...
anyway.
You might still need to, again, because, like, you have enough gas to get to where you need to go, and then, like, not
But
enough...
not-
Well,
back.
yeah, but I mean, like, not killing the village.
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
you could always float downriver, but that it takes a very long time. So...
Yeah. No, there's definitely a point where funny enough, I could think of there are a couple options, but anyway, it's more just that I do feel like helping Havarg. Actually, we can probably discuss this in character. I feel that I probably pull you guys aside and just be like, sadly, I feel like helping Havarg may be our best course of action.
Of course, really.
I mean, we have a creature that that is willing to help us in the hunt with Havarg. And to bring it to bring the Naga to the town would basically bar us from any attempt at trading. Effectively, we don't have a way of saving, or we don't have a way of getting back unless we can either help Havarg or ditch the Naga. And sadly, both sound like they can be completed with the same task.
Yes, it's true.
I'd say, is there something going on over here? There seems to be some considerable danger. Excuse me, but I'm worried for my crew. Is the first mate eaten by something? Now, I know this is a very dangerous area and folks die all the time. We were ready for that kind of danger coming out here. Of course.
How much do you know about yuan-ti and their religions?
A little bit. Again, it's not our main focus of study.
Well, do you know what an anathema is?
Not at all.
Stay away from the
It's a
edge
very,
of the boat.
it's
Yeah,
a very
try my
dangerous
best.
creature. And Havarg has led us into its territory as an excuse to hunt it.
Oh. Well, that seems quite, unpleasant and dangerous.
Yes, he has misled us, and the first mate has paid for it.
Oh, I liked the nice troll man. He was apparently an excellent cook. Surprisingly, I didn't know you could have so much flavor from grilled things. Did you know? I learned a few recipes from him. I was hanging around with him. My own cooking has improved from this dress, and I'm quite distraught that we lost him then. I'll have to add a memoriam in front of the documentary about the loss of poor Scrog.
Yes, well, as it seems right now, us and Havard will probably go take this creature down, or Havard will probably have to go take this creature down, and you can stay here safe with Shazam.
I'll try my best to.
You are not fighters, you will not be helpful.
I'm not completely without some skill, but I understand it's younger folks' game.
Yeah, this thing can devour 6 of you at once, so...
Well,
That's with no hands.
That's... So,
If we had hands and possibly 8.
well,
It...
possibly. He's gonna wander off.
Yeah. We could take down a troll without leaving a sign of us, without even leaving a trace. This is not a creature to be trifled with.
You reckon anyone can lift this gun? Because that thing seems like it's gonna be mighty useful.
you think a bear can gun? Good question.
Oh god, are we about to have a bear with a gun in one game and a cockroach with a gun in the other?
Yes, sure.
Oh my gosh.
Does that bear have a gun?
You want to know what's really funny? You want to know what's really funny? Is I was actually, because I can transform into a bear in the other game, I was actually looking up the logistics of bears using guns.
Oh. Yup.
I think
Can they get that finger on the trigger,
Do
or is
it?
it like too big?
like it's claws, it's nails, probably.
Yeah, so the issue wouldn't be them pulling the trigger, but holding the handle since they don't have opposable thumbs.
Oh no.
Just
So
like,
it'll just be you put your arms out and we'll just kind of rest it in your arms?
yeah, it should be
I mean, if we can strap it to
like
one
a
arm
rifle,
and
right?
yeah, it's like
So it's like a long gun. It's not necessarily like a handle, like a handgun. So
We
It might
could
be-
strap it to your back as a bear, and then one of us can sit behind firing it.
on 4 legs,
Yes.
or it could be on my shoulder,
Oh.
and you guys could be on my back.
Mm. These are
think
terrible,
we do.
terrible ideas, and I really want to do them.
I mean, we need the gun, right?
Possibly. This thing doesn't exactly sound friendly.
Exactly. So it probably.
It is certainly not friendly.
Exactly. We need this cannon thing.
what's actually amusing too is that a panda bear could hold the gun because they don't have opposable thumbs, but they have a special like thing in their hands which allow them to grip things, and it's because so they can grip and eat bamboo.
Oh.
Can I hand? I still have.
I don't think pandas are big enough as a bear, though. You know, you have to be like a big
Okay.
like polar bear or a grizzly or something. Might be big enough to do it. Even so, it's a pretty big gun. It's like a rifle size category to level, you know.
Moon.
I mean, yeah, basically for bears to hold things, they have to use both hands. Which again makes it harder to pull triggers. And if it is a two-handed gun, you can't really hold it right.
You could hold it with both arms, and then we'll tie like a little piece of string around the trigger. Just pull it with your teeth.
That's perfect. Or just tie it to my arm, and then I use the other hand to hold.
This is why
So
I can't
it'll
play
be
anything that
an
turns
arm gun.
Look, just because Twitch chat has given us a suggestion of Panda Rambo.
I mean, it's
camouflage
what's really
cape.
funny is I was actually looking into logistics of this last week, so or 2 weeks ago, so I actually know.
I think it's just a sign that we need to plan it.
Why does
However, it'll work.
Panda Rambo comes up with results?
I have to see that. Oh my god. Panda Rambo. Oh my god, it does!
It does.
Wow.
So I think this is just proof that we should be doing this.
Wow. Someone did
Oh
like
god,
the
this one is
double
ridiculous.
assault rifle, the straps, and the thing with the panda. Like, you know, there is actual
Oh, yeah.
Panda Rambo. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I've seen these a lot of times. I think do it.
Oh. All right. Well,
Minecraft skins for Panda Rambo. I'm not kidding. What?
uh-huh.
Why is this a thing?
Because Minecraft?
There's multiple of them.
Pandas are just that cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need 2 designs for Panda Rambo Minecraft?
There are multiple
skins?
designs. There's one that has like blood all over it too.
Yeah, there is. There's one that's like covered in blood, one that's in like an army outfit, one that just has the bandana and the shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this makes me think that some like Minecraft YouTuber uses a panda skin, and that's why there's so many variations for it.
Probably.
Because that's generally like they generally will do things like, oh, there's some survival game, let me turn my panda into a Rambo, you know, and then people try and copy it or whatever. Oh,
Either
hey,
way,
look, a third.
we need a panda with a gun.
Get panda with a gun.
Or at least the grizzly bear with a gun.
There's a Tom Nook Minecraft skin. I'm in.
We're going down a rabbit hole
Yeah, I
that
don't
was
know
probably
what's
not needed.
Yes. Anyway,
Um,
Am I allowed?
Hivari, we'll kind of like say like, so, are you ready to join the hunt then? It is a good day to hunt.
I'm not
This
big on
beast.
hunting.
This beast is different than others of its kind. Larger and meaner, more savage. There are very few of its kind. The one that I showed you the skin of. It was one that was still smart, has its brains. But this one, something went wrong with it, long ago. Perhaps being abandoned in the city. Drew on more dark powers. Became more powerful. But in turn, became more savage. Currently, it's probably in its snake form. Much larger than any snake you would have ever seen. Probably twice as long as this boat.
oh fun, it can shapeshift.
Big enough to swallow a troll. And devour it. I can only assume. If we can lure it in, we can draw it back to its original form. Then we might be able to defeat it. In its original form, it will be less dangerous in a way. It's not smart enough to use some of its abilities. That is at least the information that I have on it. Before all the screaming and the death, of course. And I still have, as he's going to kind of point to his box of dynamite, some gifts for it. So,
So we're just gonna shove dynamite into a piece of meat and hope it eats it? Like,
would not work. You have mastery of making a timed explosive.
Nope.
Then let us lower it in. Come, let us continue down the river. We look for a place to hunt. Capture some bait. It will be following us. Though it might not be as hungry for a little while, it did just eat.
Very well. Let's get ready.
He will continue to lead your boat back through the trees and back to the river that he wanted to take you on. You'll continue to head deeper into the forest. There's obviously tension on the boat. The captain is certainly like trying to keep a hold of things, and it seems like he's got much more difficult job as he's kind of got to like keep the boat going but move everything around. The Naga has been more awake, you think, but it hasn't done anything because it was just kind of sitting there before, probably brooding and planning death and murder. Now it seems to be like looking around, but again, it's a skeleton, so it's kind of hard to tell what the hell it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a lot of tension amongst the gnomes. Two of them do seem to be talking with Havarg a bunch. Ermin and, Warnan. Ermin is, you're pretty sure, his director, and Warnan is the like makeup and effects guy, makeup and set guy that they brought with them on their adventure here. The rest of the day will go on without a hitch, though. It'll be kind of quiet on the boat here. The jungle still seems noisy, but there's definitely a feeling on the boat just because of the loss of a nice troll, and that there's something stalking it. But we shall take our second break here, as now you have a new threat to you.
Aww.
Something very dangerous stalks you from the waters. We shall see how it goes. So if you need a drink, snack, or bathroom break, go ahead and take it, and we'll be back in a short while.